I'm researching on mostly submarine volcanism. I'm interested in understanding the dispersal of volcanic products in the ocean. The product of this volcanism chiefly settles on the seafloor, but sometimes we have fragments that we call pumice that can float at the surface of the sea and get dispersed by wind and ocean currents. So in 2019 there was a submarine eruption occurring in close to Tonga, and this eruption was about 200 meters below sea level, relatively deep, and suddenly it produced what we call a pumice raft, which is a mat of pumice that are floating on the top of the ocean. For big ships, the problem is the water intakes in the ships. We have little pumps in the ship to cool the engines. Those pumice can really clog the engines and make the ship inoperable. So we investigated the dispersal of these pumice rafts, especially how it got dispersed by wind and the ocean current. And we had the fantastic opportunity to have samples that got collected by sailing boats in this area. A few sailing boats by chance crossed the raft 2 days after the eruption. In the same time, we could record what was the thickness of the raft and so on. So we had lots of information. I looked at satellite images that were taken every day of these pumice rafts and tried to compile where this pumice raft was going and dispersing. So I started making or compiling hazard maps that got distributed to the sailing communities and maritime communities in Tonga and also Fiji. So in October this year, we're going to investigate several big submarine volcanoes in the Kermadec Arc, which is north of New Zealand. So these volcanoes record very large eruptions that occurred a few thousand to tens of thousands years ago. So with this data, we will be able to better understand the style of eruptions underwater, because we don't know much about that yet, and also potentially the possibility for them to trigger tsunami. And that's really critical because the current tsunami models are not based on very strong data, it's more empirical data, and we want to improve this.